Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. This is Top Tarot Miners, and my name is Sadhana. Today we're going to talk about the Seven of Wands. So welcome back, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. So I have a lot of different sort of energies on the table today, and I'm going to talk about each of these. And then I will pick my top 7 of Wands for today. And some of these look awfully similar, but I will do my best to address the nuances, the subtle differences among all of these cards. The fire within. The fire within, the fire that stands alone at the front of the crowd and defends one's honor, principle, perhaps a shift in priorities. There are some really beautiful things that this card can represent. And yeah, so I think what I want to do is I read a little bit from the Herb Crafter Tarot, and then I will carry on with that. So you can see this is cinnamon. We have cinnamon sticks in the jar. There has been cinnamon bark that's been crushed in the mortar. And we have an ancient book, Curandissimo, a way of the curandera. We have a Mayan disc of some sort over on the right, fire, so I would assume there's cinnamon tea on the fire. And so let me just read this. Welcome, Amelia. Ancestral traditions remind us of who we are. Té de canela is a remedy of Mexican grandmothers, so that's cinnamon tea. Your personal power has roots in your own cultural heritage. When you hear a call from the ancients, start with study of your bloodlines. Learn the history, take the medicine, and eat the food of the people. This is such amazing advice. As cinnamon found its way around the globe on the Silk Road, allow yourself to be taken on a journey by your ancestors. Devotion to divine beings will deepen your connection, collect imagery and stories, make altars and offerings. Take pride in where you come from and stand up for who you are. Claim your sovereign path. Your foremothers will give you direction, and cinnamon is a strong and spicy remedy. Be assertive and bold in the expression of true self. And sometimes we don't know, hello Saskia, sometimes we don't know what this fire within, where it's coming from. It can feel unfamiliar and like a power that grows within. And I always, you need to trust this always. And I think the beauty of starting with a card like this is a reminder that it can come from lineage and ancestral connection, and your growing, your evolution, your spiritual evolution will begin to awaken your connections with spirit and ancestor. And there's just something here that feels so very important. In the Architect's Tarot, which I will move forward for you, this tarot has a really some really interesting shifts of perspective. Usually in the Seven of Wands, there's a sense of power, so that the 6 wands from those that are in the foreground are lower, and the single figure with 1 wand is higher. But here we have a shift of perspective and not quite trusting. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Is this what I stand for? can I, like, how can I do this? And I think trust is the answer here. Sevens they're tricky cards. And yes, they can be seen as challenges. They can amplify the challenge of the five, but they're also a journey card. And I always see the seven. So the seven, it's the first decan of the Knights. It's the first decan of the Knights. So there's this sense of initiating forward movement. It also, on the Tree of Life, takes us away from the center. So it takes us a little off kilter. It moves us towards Venus. 7 is a Venusian number. So there's often a tremendous passion and feeling, and there's some heart here in this card. It is the third decan of Leo. So we do have the heart of the lion here, and we need to trust in that and where that is coming from. It could be very, very old. Now, one thing I like about the Way Home Tarot over some of these other ones I have on the table, this is the Way Home here, is all the flames that are standing on either side of the single flame. It's almost like those are the ancestors holding space and walking side by side with you. Maybe you are coming into the foreground, right? You are coming into the foreground and they are there saying, you go, girl, you go. And it's pretty, I don't know, I like this perspective. I think we need to be reminded that even if we're not aware of who is standing with us and for us, there are always ancestors, loved ones, guides, and spirit who stand with us as we move into places where we just kind of feel something's not quite right. I just thought of something else here. And then I have to shift the perspective. What really appeals to me in this card is the possibility of walking towards and the ancestors holding space on either side. And that could have happened in the other direction as well too. But what I was about to say is that in the fives, which is the first challenge card, numerologically speaking, I see the fives connected to the five, the pontiff, or pontiff, English, right? Hierophant, bridge. And my visualization of 5 cards is suspension bridge. And this one actually has a suspension bridge. And it's like you've crossed the suspension bridge of the 5. And there you are. You are going on your way into the darkness, not knowing where you are going. But you go. You go. And you stand bravely. In the Star Seeker Tarot, there's something kind of similar. However, I almost feel this connection, High Priestess kind of energy. She holds, or they hold, 2 wands. And do we have 5 in the foreground? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a very different perspective. Coming from balance, love that the eyes are closed. And this feels like sacred work. It feels like a deep inner connection. I had to include the World of Pooh Tarot. I grew up reading Winnie the Pooh. It was read aloud to me. This was in the days when those little half-hour TV shows came on, and I think it was Disney who animated this story. And those particular episodes where the words sort of moved on the page were so beautiful. And Winnie the Pooh struggles, right? He struggles with who he is, and the only thing he knows is that he loves honey. Honey is going to keep him alive, and I just feel so much sentimental sort of attachment to this particular card. And so Pooh Bear climbs this enormous tree. I'm not sure that he actually gets the honey, but what I see here is a tenacity and a listening to my inner voice. And it's just a very sweet card. I had to share it with you today. Okay, so we have Way Home Tarot. Now in the, this is the Wild Unknown. Similar kind of thing. I stand alone. And notice the shift of color of the branches. 1 black, 6 white. And so lean into that. What does that say to you? Right? What does the black represent? And if you've been studying tarot for a while, you know your blacks and whites. So pay attention to these little nuances in the cards. It is my intuitive side. It's my deep inner lunar energy that is shining bright here. I need to trust that wisdom, and maybe that wisdom is of the ancestors, right? We can look, and some days, right, one card you might see something that you don't see on another day. Let's do the other flame first, and then I'll talk about the numinous. So this card is the Lily Black Tarot by Celia Melville. And I chose the black version of this one because you can see the rain better than you can in the Lily White. The rain is still there. And this fire persists, this flame persists despite the rain or amongst the rain. Yesterday, I was talking about temperance and the beauty of co-connecting, like the simultaneous connection of fire and water. There's something very powerful in that. And if this were daytime, likely you would have some sort of prismatic effect of the flame shining through the rain here. Not a rainbow because it's not coming from the sun, but there would be something quite special. So the thing I like here, yes, the flame is bright and standing atop the 7 branches, but it's the rain. It's the I can be in my emotional body. My fire can thrive alongside, within my emotional body. They are not separate. They grow together. They are one. And as I was saying, right, we have so many cool connections here. A connection to the nights, a connection to Venus, a connection like this this idea of movement and growth through challenge. This is a brilliant card, and I've always wondered, when a querent is sitting there, sometimes it's really hard. It's like pulling teeth to find out, what do you stand for? Sometimes people don't know. So it's a bit of a process to draw it out of them. And other times they do know so dearly. And I have stood with this card personally and with my children a few times. And it's a life transforming card. It really is. Now, I've heard people say in the Numinous Tarot that they don't get this card. They don't get this card. So here we have an older person on a runway who is not wearing sexy model clothing. And the crowd is cheering. Why? They're not going to buy this garment. This woman is finding her inner strength, and to herself, she is beautiful. And she walks with grace and elegance and poise and feels the fire and the sexiness within. This reminds me a little bit of the red hat movement, where we be who we want to be regardless of age. And I think this fits in a really poignant way with the energy of the Seven of Wands. Oh my goodness, there are a lot of boxes here. Okay, so anything else? If you have Seven of Wands cards that you would like me to mention or to discuss in the comments below, please be sure to put that down. I think amplifying this card is a combination of both. I mentioned this was a Leo card. So we have solar energy here, and you see the solar energy behind the head of the woman in the numinous tarot. But this also is a Marshall Decan. So what does that mean? It means I love to look at Mars energy as my spiritual warrior. I in no way am I have any connection to martial arts or I'm not a soldier. I'm not a follower. I don't do well in group mentality. And so the way that I connect to my Mars is very much in the energy of this card. And sometimes it's not so clearly defined. And as I was saying with this card that connects us to our ancestors, I really think we need to trust these kinds of feelings despite whatever is going on around us. Okay? All right, so let me pick my top 5 from this group. There's a few things here that I just really love. Of course, I'm going to pick this card. There's some cards in this deck that are just so powerful. I really like the perspective here, the questioning perspective. I love the rain and the fire. And the Numinous Tarot, I think, has something to say. And then I have 4 other cards in hand. So let me pick one of these. I think I'm going to go with The Way Home. Yeah. I mean, The Wild Unknown, I do love that black and white thing. I do love, all 3 of these cards have just a slightly different nuance. And please, 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 when you are reading the tarot, trust what comes out of your mouth. Trust what you see to be the most important thing here. Because the nuance will make all the difference in the reading. And that's really, I think, important. I'm going to go with the Way Home. All right, so left to right, my top 5. 7 of Wands are Numinous, Lily Black, Architects, Way Home, and Herb Crafters. Thank you so much for watching. And just a reminder that I have a sale on right now for all of my tarot courses, valid through September 3rd. So check out my website, the shop on my website, and be sure to use the coupon code BACKTOSCHOOL25. Thank you. Take good care of yourselves. Namaste.